Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? ANZD here with the second stimulus check update and what's going on with the second stimulus check and the second stimulus package and the talks of trying to get these things passed. Now, what's been going back and forth, trying to negotiate, trying to find a way, especially with the unemployment bonus, to get the unemployment bonus to continue, the $600 FPUC unemployment bonus from the federal government that boosts unemployment boost, which boosts people unemployment by $600 weekly. That right there has ended. So there's been trying to be works of like trying to pass like little laws, little acts to make the 600, or actually not even make the 600, to extend. I think they said like $200 or $300 a week to put that in place in the meantime while negotiation going on. But at the same time, if you do that, then you have to go switch up the algorithm, switch up how the state system is going to pay people out. And at the time when they first started trying to send out the $600 bonus, many of the state system couldn't even handle it, so they had to go back and reprogram it. Many people didn't get their bonus or unemployment check until weeks, even months later. So anyways, right now that's going on in Washington. They're going back and forth trying to negotiate whether the unemployment should be between 200 and 600. Republicans want to do about 200 to 400. The Democrats want to keep it at 600, which makes sense because you don't have to change anything, just keep it going. What the only thing that they kind of agreeing on is definitely putting out another $1,200 EIP stimulus check, but they can't even come to agreement on that part because the Republicans want to leave it like how it was in the CARES Act, and the Democrats want to be making more efficient to other people, where like if you were dependent 17 and older, you're not even and you're working a job or something like that, or you're in college, you should have access to that $1,200. If you're an adult, a dependent, and your kids was able to claim you on their tax return, you should be able to have access to $1,200 EIP stimulus check. So the Democrats wanted $1,200 for each person, $2,400 if you're a couple, and $1,200 for each dependent, up to 3 dependents. The Republicans want to do $1,200 for each person, $2,400 per couple, and leave it at the $500 per dependent, up to 3 dependents, and leave it just like how the CARES Act. So if you're an adult and you were claimed by your kids, you won't get it. If you're a kid and you're working and you get claimed by your parents, you won't get it. So there's no negotiation back and forth. Then you had these little small bills that come in place of saying, okay, well, let's extend the unemployment, maybe $200 to $400 for the next week or so until we get things in place. Then you have arguments of saying, okay, maybe we should do I think it was like a $1,000 to each person, and then $1,000 per dependent, or something like that. And for some it might work out, and some it wouldn't, because either way you still was ending up probably, I think like it was like $400 below, I think the HEROES proposal, and it was like maybe $200 higher than the HEROES Act. I'm not even gonna get into all those HEROES and HEALS, because the HEALS Act just want basically the HEALS Act is just saying, okay, we want all that was in the CARES Act, except we want more money for PPP. We want that liability protection, as well as more money for the PPP, liability protection, $1,200 direct payment, and just some other stuff. Whereas the Democrats' HEROES Act, which was put forward back in May, which don't make sense why they all of a sudden saying, oh, each other side is slowing up. The Republicans saying, oh, Democrats slowing up, but the Democrats had already put something, HEROES Act, on place way back in May, and now the Democrats are saying, okay, well, the Republicans are slowing stuff up because they don't want to even like come close to anything that had in the HEROES Act with this HEALS Act. And at the same time, they're not budging because they're saying, well, we already put stuff in place back in May. And what should have happened was like the Democrats should have said, okay, well, you won't budge on this. You said it's going to be dead on arrival. How about we take this piece out, we take this place out, and we try to put the liability insurance, liability protection over here, and try to, rearrange how the HEROES Act was, where you would have some of the stuff that the Republican have in it. But instead, like, And the Republicans didn't even look at it. We'll say, okay, well, we can agree with this $600 unemployment and a $1,200 for each person, but we'll have to take out this. And yes, we can include SNAP, but we have to take out this money for this and include a little bit more money for the small business or whatever. It's just too much like nitpicking, and to me, towards them, it doesn't really matter, because what they're making, what, $100 and something thousand at least, what, 120,000. Most of them have businesses engaging in getting money from the Small Business Administration. That's why the Small Business Administration is going through lawsuits and stuff like that. Like it's crazy how things is going. And for that case, like, you got $150 billion remaining in PPP fund, but it's not allocated right. Like, take some of that money and give it to the people. Let the people be able to, like, they acting like $2,400 extra a month. A person's gonna be like filthy, wealthy, rich, and not go back to work. People want to go back to work. There's no jobs to go back to. You got more people getting laid off as the situation continues. So it's just a big mess. So I'm not even gonna do a big follow-up. It was like, okay, well, this was proposed. I basically went the gist down. They have the big proposal. None of them want to bust. So some of them want to do these little proposals, especially the Republicans just want to pass like these little weekly, bi-weekly proposals, which not making sense. So hope y'all got some value out of this. I'm gonna be doing some more follow-up on what's going on in Washington, D.C. and the stimulus package. But in the meantime, you're probably gonna see some more videos of, let's continue to do a DIY stimulus check for ourselves, a DIY stimulus package of creating our own stimulus check. Because you got to think about it. The first stimulus check was like $1,200, and it only lasted for about 4 months. So like, that's only about $300 a month. So if we can make $300-400 a month extra, we creating our own stimulus check. So once again, it's Andy Dawkins. Hope you got some value out of this. Please like, comment, and share, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.